Right, where the hell am I at the moment? Well, I had intended to come out and do a bit of live streaming because I wanted to test signal strength and bit rates and audio and things like that. But unfortunately, I mean, as you can see, I'll give you a pan. I'm pretty much in the middle of nowhere. But unfortunately, I've applied again to get live streaming back, and guess what? YouTube, I say I'm not eligible again. So hang on, let me just turn a light on here. Let's try the S11. That's better. We can see where we're going. Right. Aye, so as I was saying, YouTube have again taken away live streaming. So they said, oh, if you get 1,000 subscribers, you can have it back. So I'm still waiting, and I've just tried there, and surprise, surprise, it doesn't work. So that's nice. So I'm in the middle of nowhere, as you can see. Let's have a look down here. So this is one of the locations I come to test lights. And what I like to do is I like to walk for a long period of time. I like to see how they feel in the pocket, how they feel in the hand, what are they like on extended walks. Because it's no good just ripping the box open and saying, oh, that's fantastic, amazing, and using words like super bright, which doesn't actually mean anything. I'm not a big fan of that sort of review. Not that I'm going to criticise other channels, because that's not what I'm here to do, but I'm just saying that's what I prefer to do. Well, anyway, this was one of the lights which I really enjoyed this year, the S11. It's got a lovely tint. I mean, it's difficult to see on camera because obviously I'm using HDR here and all sorts of things. So I'm just firing it there. But look, that's a lovely beam. It's a orange peel reflector, and it's got quite a nice output, and it's a Convoy, so it's cheap. So basically pretty good. I never have any bother with the Convoys, basically. But look on this birch tree here, I mean, that's brilliant. And then in fact, there's a field here. So let's see if we can stretch out into the field. There you go. So I can fire that quite far into that field, as you can see. It's when I'm getting close to near that traffic in the distance there where it starts to peter out, but the tint is lovely. I'll compare that. I mean, I'll bring out another light. So if you hang on, that was the S11, which I really enjoyed. And I think, now this feels brutalist in my hand, so that would suggest it's the EC01 by Astrolux. So let's just have a try. It is. So double click, turbo. I mean, big difference there, look. Reaching off right into the distance. So we'll have a walk with this one. I like this one, and I know some people were commenting saying, it's got a green tint. Yeah, I suppose it has. It seems to depend what level you have it at, in other words, what level of output. But it certainly does a decent job. And I do apologise, it's very windy here, so if the sound quality is poor, that's my fault, I apologise. But this is on turbo and it's pretty good. Let's see if this reaches out into the field. I mean, it's difficult to see, but if I come forward and lift up here, nah. Here we go. I'll find a bit where we can actually see into the field. If I duck down a bit here. There. So there's a lot more lumens coming out of this. Pretty decent light. Like I say, I was going to do a live stream and walk for some period of time talking, but I thought what I'll do is I'll just walk and do this quick recording and then upload as just a ramble. Unfortunately, I've not been able to do the live stream test. In fact, I'll just change the lights. So if you hang on, that's getting quite warm. So that was the S11. Let's see what else we've got in the box of tricks. Aha, right. Here we go. Astrolux FT03. So as you can see, it's a thrower, but watch when I go to turbo. Bang, I mean, that's pretty impressive. So what I'll do is, I'll show you in this field. This is a perfect spot. So look at that. That's stretching way, 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 way out. That's going right across past the traffic. So that's absolutely incredible. I still think for the price this is brilliant. I do realise this is, I think it's the SST40 emitter, which is good, but you can now get the 50.2, which is even better, and then I think it's the SBT90, but the price on the SBT90 is ridiculous. I'm not paying that for an Astrolux. I know there will be people who will, but I'm certainly not going to pay that. I think it's a little bit expensive for what you're getting. But it's quite nice. Yeah, it's a bit cool tonight, so I do apologise for all the coughing and sniffing I'm probably doing. There's a good field here, actually. Let's see if it'll stretch out. In fact, I'll change lights because there was another one which I wanted to show you, which the review isn't up yet because I'm still kind of finalising that. Now, bear in mind I'm having to juggle here with a load of lights and carry a camera. Actually, here's the tup. So if you can remember the little tup, which was, I mean, I don't know if you can see the screen there. It's probably not going to focus, but there's the little screen there. There you go. So if I hold this down, there's turbo. So that's not bad for a tiny little keychain light. Look at the size of it. Tiny little keychain light. And yet we're able to push out 1,000 lumens, or near to anyway. This is the Nitecore Tip. Really, really like this light. I mean, because of the TIR lens, it's got a lovely flood, but you're not going to get any distance, unfortunately. But that's not what this is intended for. You know, keychain lights aren't meant for search and rescue, or people who have a second job in a lighthouse, you know. But look, it's reaching in that field. You can't deny that's pretty decent. It's doing a pretty decent job. It only seems to come in cool white, which is a bit of a nuisance. I would have preferred it in a neutral, or at least have that choice, but that doesn't seem to be a choice you get. But I'll try and find this other light. So if I turn that off, let's have a look. Now, I do apologise, I'm juggling lights here, it's absolutely ridiculous. Ugh. And I've got a pack here on my side. Right, I found it. I know in the dark from its feel. Right, this is the Tip 2. So much smaller, it's very similar to the Tip. But if I can get this to turn on, there you go. Yeah, look at that. That's quite a nice beam. It uses 2 LEDs and it's a TIR setup. Not very wide TIR, but it certainly works, look. I mean, that's not bad. I'll try and show you. There's the 2 LEDs. It's very difficult to pick up there, obviously, because of the conditions I'm in. But look at that. You notice it's not pushing as far as the Tup, unfortunately. Even if I hold this up, you get a little bit more reach. It's okay. The Tup's going to give you more, but I think this is smaller. I prefer it because it's smaller, and it's got a brilliant magnetic base system, which I'll go into on the review. This isn't meant to be a review. This is just me walking around rambling, wasting time, and having a laugh. There's a good field here, actually, so let's see how far this stretches out. I do apologise for the wind noise. So it pushes out quite decent, look. It's not bad. Not as good as a dedicated thrower, obviously. Let's see what else I've got in the bag, because I've got flashlights all over the shop here. So I put 2 under my arm. There's the Tup I can feel. Now I think I can feel, this feels to me like an FW3A, I think, lumen top. So let's see what that looks like. So tiny little light, but if we double click, you get a nice turbo. Not bad. There you go. Bang. In fact, look, that's pretty impressive. Let's see what the push out on this field is. Not bad, is it? That's not bad. Much better than the 720 output on the Tip 2 there, but this is a much bigger output, and it's a triple emitter, so you've got 3 emitters, a TIR. Now, interestingly, the TIR I got was slightly frosted, so it's a slightly frosted optic. It's from a UK company, which I like. I think that suits what this is for. Medium range, you're certainly not going to get massive range, but look at that. Look at how it lights this path up. I think that's pretty impressive. I'm a big fan of that. So nice light. There was a few little weird things I had with this light, UI-wise, but I think they're probably my fault, and I did mention that in the review, and I did say, look, make sure it's tightened and make sure it's not in muggle mode. Because if it's in muggle mode, you get a funny sort of way of acting, and it doesn't feel normal, but it's because it's supposed to be like that. It's in muggle mode, basically. Let's see what else we've got here. Now I can feel something, and it feels like a Firefly's. I think it's a Firefly's E07, and the way to tell is there's the auxiliary LEDs, you see them? So you've got the tiny little auxiliary LEDs, they're not the main ones that are lit up there. So I'm just trying to be careful where I'm walking because it's pitch black here. As you can see, look, when there's no light, that's facing down to the floor. So if I turn this on, hang on, if I get the right mode, there you go. Let's see what this one can do. Look at that. Look, that is absolutely amazing. I still think this is an impressive light. I wish it was a bit cheaper, but it does a fantastic job. I mean, look at that. In fact, let's go back to that field. So if you come this way, I need to find that gap. I mean, look at that. Brilliant torch. You get a lot of output here. Here's a gap I can use. So if I point out towards the field here, there's a slight elevation on the field here, but look at that. It's wide and it's giving you distance. Even though it's TIR, but look at that, massive output there. Brilliant little light. Pretty small, but extremely capable. So I think I've done enough waffling. Like I say, I was going to come out and do a really long walk and talk about all sorts of different flashlights and do it live so people could ask questions, because one of the things I like about the channel is the interaction with people, because I don't know it all, and I've said this a million times. I am not an expert, and I will not ever claim to be an expert, and that's why I really appreciate the comments from people and the help from people saying, well, what about this and what about that, and you didn't cover this and you didn't cover that. That's perfectly fine. That's constructive criticism. I mean, I know some people are saying, well, these people using F words, F bombs and this, that and the t'other shouldn't be commenting on the channel, but that's their way of expressing themselves. You know, who am I to argue? Let's just put the AC01 back on here. There you go, boom. I like that, look at that. That's fantastic light, especially for the price. I mean, for the price at this moment, the price on this, it's killer. In fact, I recommended it to someone who was going to go caving last week. Unfortunately, I think they then disregarded what I said and went to eBay and bought one of these $10 specials, which are absolute crap. And surprise, surprise, it's lackluster. So, but you get what you pay for, I guess. That's just one of these things. Look at that, pushing out into the field, no problems. So as I was saying, I've passed 1,000 subscribers, but for some reason, YouTube's still not giving me live streaming, which I would really appreciate getting back. I'll contact them again, see what I can do. Probably knowing my luck, they've changed the threshold again, so now I've got to have 1 million viewers or something stupid like that, which is very annoying, but nothing I can do about that. So I'm not going to bore you any further. I'm going to walk off into the distance with the flashlight. So I'll put this down so you can see what's going on. So I'm going to walk off in the distance, pretending that I'm walking off, but you realise I'm going to have to come back and turn this off, so you'll probably hear my footsteps. So I'm off.